Yo, what's going on? Yo, this is Vitamin the Governor, and this is Talking Rock, your one-stop shop for rock. And today, we have to switch it up. We've been having a lot of male energy, but we switching it up today. Today, we going into the feminine side. Today, we going to honor one of the young ladies really holding it down for the rock culture. Today, I have none other than a special guest, Goody-Roc.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on? All right, man. So let's go from the beginning. Matter of fact, let's start with your name. How did you get your name, Goody-Roc?
Well, if you guys want to know, my real name is Erin Goodwin. So Goody was actually my father's nickname. So my mom always says it's weird that people call me Goody. She's like, "That's your dad." But I had a friend who used to call me Goody Goodness. So that was another name I had. And then when I was training with Ringo, I told him about that name Goody, so he started calling me Goody. And when I was rocking more, he added the rock after. So that's how Goody-Roc came to be. Yeah.
And how did you get your start into like rocking? Like, what was your first exposure to rocking that you consciously remember?
Well, I started B-girling in like 2008 with Bounce or Efrat. And she's the one that first showed me the jerk. She learned from Breakeasy. And so she showed me the jerk. And I remember at the time I didn't know anything about rocking. And but I loved this move. I was like, oh. And all the girls that she trained us, that I was training with at the time, like we loved the jerk. So we'd always be doing the jerk to each other. And we didn't know, she explained a little bit about rocking to us, but at the time I was just learning B-girling, so I didn't know anything about the dance, but I loved the jerk. And then after that, she introduced me to Breakeasy, so I started going to practices in Bushwick at the Humboldt Street practice and then McCarran Park. And Breakeasy would teach basic breaking and basic rocking. So I started to learn some foundation, although I still didn't know about the dance. I also took class with Ken Swift, but it was breaking, but occasionally he would bring 7 gems to teach. And that was my first exposure to an Apache line. And little Dave was there, and I really didn't understand what was going on. And he's like, "Get in this line." And we're in the line, and we're burning, and I didn't know what a burn was. I didn't know anything, so it was pretty crazy. So I still was starting to understand it more, but I didn't know about it yet. I thought it was cool, and and then after as I got more involved in the breaking scene, I started to see more rocking battles at events or at practice, and I thought it was really cool, but I was I don't think this is for me. It's so aggressive, and I didn't imagine it would be something I would do. So
nice. And from there, those exposures from Breakeasy's McCarran Park practice to Ken Swift's practice, how did you further immerse yourself and get involved?
Well, at practice, I met so many different people, like King Uprock, I met Ringo, Miguelito, or Mighty Mike, and so I would see them, and I really liked the rocking, but like I said, I didn't think it was something for me. And I got closer with Ringo. He became one of my friends too, and I really liked his flavor for his freestyle, and I wanted to improve my top rocks, so that was my main incentive. And I said, "Ringo, can you train me? Can you show me some of those, and maybe I can infuse it into my top rock?" So I started meeting with Ringo, I think in 2012, we started training once a week, and he would show me different moves, but he started showing me jerks and drops too, just intuitively. He just started and then started showing me burns, and I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of fun." I'm like, I can stab people, and I don't know, I started to like it. And so after we kept meeting, I decided I want to do this. I'm gonna train a rocker now, and the Mastermind anniversary was coming up, so that was my goal. I trained for, I don't know, it was 7 or 8 months, and I decided like that's gonna be my first battle. Like, so that was.
And which anniversary was this? The anniversary that was in the Rock Factory, or was it before that?
No, it was after. It was the Nieves
Dance studio.
Okay,
yeah. Okay. In that beginning, like, I'm sure that seeing like seeing all the rockers and stuff like that, there weren't that many women that were involved. Like, did that play a role in you wanting to really represent for that, or did that play any role in anything?
No, I didn't. Like, really, I didn't know how far I would end up going with it. Like, I really just started enjoying it, and it was just fun. But yeah, and even in New York, there weren't so many women rocking at the time. And just in general, I feel like even at that time, the B-girl community was kind of down too. Just women in general weren't. And, but I wanted to dance. Like, I guess I wasn't thinking about that. I just wanted to dance, and
yeah.
It just happened.
Do you remember like your first time you were put to test, whether it was like a club, whether it was a real contest, whether it was a Apache line at a park jam? Like, do you remember the first time that you kind of had to test yourself?
Well, before, it's funny because I was B-girling, but I was really shy about going into ciphers, but somehow rocking gave me that confidence. Even if I wasn't battling someone, I just somehow felt like more comfortable with it. And there was a party called Hang Time at Gonzalez y Gonzalez, and there wasn't even a cipher. I just felt a moment where I was like, oh, and I just started rocking. And it was probably the first time people had seen me really get in a cipher. And all of a sudden there was a cipher around me. And I wasn't rocking like hardcore. I was just dancing, freestyling, doing some jerks. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Why did... So it was the first time. And then park jams like Tools of War, that's where I started really getting comfortable in ciphers and really being comfortable with myself. The park jams are just so awesome because they always have incredible music. It's outside.
Yeah.
You have a mix of the young generation, the old generation there. So the park jams definitely like was a time when I was like ciphering more, and I don't remember battling too much. Well, Slex.
Yeah, man, R.I.P.
I
Slex.
battled Slex a lot.
Yeah.
But he was my homie. But yeah.
Can you recall like your first major battle that you took place in? That.
Well, the very first battle, the one at Mastermind Anniversary, was against Jeremy, main event.
Okay.
And it still is one of my favorite battles. It wasn't really aggressive. I think it was James Brown get involved. So it was more of we're dancing and chilling. And, you know, Jeremy's obviously really skilled and he's been dancing a long time. So that makes you, when you compete against someone who's more skilled, it brings out the best in you. So I really appreciate that I got to dance with him. And it wasn't super aggressive. It was like burn for burn. It was kind of like a game. Like, I'd throw him a burn and he'd be like, oh yeah, I got one too. It was like this one-upmanship, but like in a fun way. Like, so I think you can have both aspects with rocking, which I like. Sometimes it's aggressive and raw and mean, but sometimes it can be playful, especially if it's James Brown. Like, it's a little more chill. And I really loved that. Like, it was such a fun battle, and probably still one of the, even though I was just a beginner and still like feeling it out, it was such a fun exchange. I really enjoyed that battle.
Nice. And after that battle, like, how did you feel? Did that catapult you to like?
Oh yeah.
Now we going forward.
Yeah, the next one was because they had Rock Summit at that time, and that happened shortly after.
Yeah, that was at the bar.
Yeah,
that was somewhere in the middle of somewhere.
That was like the real like raw like underground, and they did like Apache line style, and that was good. That was like my first time really meeting with other rockers, and people started, oh, you're rocking, like people started to see, and I was like, yeah. Nice. And it was it was fun. It was like Apache experience, Apache line. I think the first song I did was Futures, Castles in the Sky. And I remember Ringo always, said, you have to pace yourself. These songs are long. And I was going in. I was like,
do you remember who your opponent was on the line?
I can't remember who it was now. Shoot, I wish I did.
Yeah. As you're starting to be more exposed to the culture, as you're starting to make your rounds, compete in competitions, just kind of immerse yourself in rocking culture, like what aspects of the dance, when it comes to like freestyle, burning, jerking, what aspects of the dance are you starting to like take liking to? So which aspects did you appreciate the most?
In the beginning?
Yeah, like in the beginning to fast forward now, like what were you more into and how did it change, if it changed?
In the beginning, I did love burning. I think everybody does.
As we all do, yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, that's so fun. And it is. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And I loved, like I said, I love the movement of the jerk from the very beginning. It was a lot of fun too. Now I love dancing, but I think burning can be a dance too. Like it doesn't have to always be aggressive. It can be part of the dance too. So I like just letting the music move me and freestyling. And sometimes I don't want to get aggressive. Sometimes I just want to jam. And then, so I guess like probably I've gotten less aggressive over the years. Now I like to just enjoy the music more and just and let it go. Yeah,
definitely. What was the first time, or when was the first time that you left? Maybe you could speak about the first time you left New York City for rocking purposes.
Okay.
And then the first time you left internationally for rocking.
My first battles, I did Pro-Am in Florida, and then I did freestyle sessions in California. I did freestyle sessions 2 times. The first time I did freestyle sessions, I didn't even qualify. I don't know if I had the best round, but I definitely saw people that qualified that I knew I was a better rocker than.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what motivated me to travel. So thank you to those who wanted to keep me down and didn't want to advance me. I'm not bitter. Yeah. I'm happy because I spoke with my friend Antonis, who lives in Greece. He's a rocker with Dynasty Rockers. And he's like, how was freestyle sessions? I'm like, man, I'm bummed. Like, I trained. I didn't even make it past prelims. I saw other people in the prelims that, like, I knew I was better than. And so I felt really disappointed. And I was like, what's the point of rocking? I can't even, if people aren't going to, like, accept me and, you know, give me a chance. And he's like, come to Poland, you know, because my friends, like Kostek and the Rock and Raw anniversary was happening in Poland. I'm like, okay. So Ringo was in the car with me. I'm like, you want to go to Poland with me, Ringo? He's like, yeah, let's go. So that was kind of what motivated me to travel was I didn't advance. And I'm like, I know I can do this. And I know I'm a rocker. And if people don't want to acknowledge it, fine. But I know in my heart that that I'm good too. I'm not going to say I'm the best, but I know that I'm good and I deserve to advance. So I went to Poland. And I'm really happy for that because that's where I met a lot of the European, like the Russian chapter of Dynasty for the Rock. And it was really cool to like battle with different people in Poland. And from there, I went to Geneva because our boy Poeto had the first rock jam in Switzerland in Geneva. And then Swimo had a jam in Prague, so Czech Republic. So it's cool. I get to see and connect with all the European rockers because a lot of them are really dope and share the same passion. So for me, that was important. So I'm really glad I had that opportunity and I was able to do it.
Nice. And like of all those like international jams that you went to, you've been to Taiwan, you've been to Poland, Switzerland, Colombia. Of all these places, like which jam did you like enjoy the most, and like what was like some of the reasoning behind you liking, really enjoying yourself at that jam?
Dang, I don't know. That's a hard question.
I know, yeah, because they're all dope jams. They're all dope jams.
That's the thing, when all really rockers, like people that are rocking because they love the dance, not because they're trying to be famous or look cool, like people that love this dance and that have a passion, when they're all together in one place and the music is all rocking music, it's just like the best. I don't know, maybe like my best experience, not necessarily just because it was the best jam, but just overall experience was in Switzerland, just because like everybody was in one house. It was like Mastermind. All the Russians were there, the Polish crew, the French, like we were all in one freaking house. And we'd have our battles and stuff, and then we'd come back, and it'd be like, oh, I had to tell this story. I'm not going to tell all of it. But Kostek comes from Poland with the vodka. He's like, I've got vodka from Poland. We're like, cool. So everybody, we drink that. And then FT comes in with this bottle like this. He's like, it's from Russia. And I'm like, what kind of liquor is it? He's like, it's from Russia. And I'm like, cool. And then we're all drinking that. Like, and it was cool because this dance brought us all together, no matter our differences, our cultures, everything. And, there's always rivalry, like, my crew's better, we're the best, you whack, but at the end of the day, we all love this dance, and it brought us together. We can all, like, chill. So
nice.
That's, I don't know if I can say there's one jam that I love the best, because I think it's always awesome when you can get together like that. But, like, that experience in Switzerland was cool because we were all staying in the same house.
I can imagine.
Thanks, Poeto, for putting up with us.
Yo, Poeto, man, I got that bottle of Ray and Nephew for you at some point. You know what I mean? We're gonna send that to Switzerland, man, for the next summer breaks. As being a rocker, like obviously you're a woman really representing. Do you see yourself as a woman rocker, or do you see yourself as a rocker? Or and to add to that question, do you feel oftentimes, due to you being a woman, that you're pitted against other women rockers just because of there's not too many of you guys?
Yeah. So
when you guys are in the same building, it's like you have to go against that person.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that type of pressure as a woman that's rocking?
Yeah, I mean, and in B-girling too, I feel like there's always this, like, oh, you have to battle that woman, and I think that's cool. Yeah, I want to battle any rocker who's like high skill, high level. Of course, yeah, let's battle, but like, I don't think that should be the main incentive because we're both women. We got to battle each other. I just want to battle whoever I think is a worthy opponent. Yeah. But yeah, that's happened before. And at the same time, I kind of don't like it just because there aren't a lot of women, and I'd rather that we kind of join together. And here's the other problem is sometimes people don't separate the dance from real life. And this happens in rocking, I'm sure in breaking too, like, where you're aggressive and you're battling and fighting in the dance, but then when it's real life, you're doing the same thing. And I also am careful with that because for me, I know how to keep the separation, but I don't want to make enemies with another woman. I want us to be, or not even just another woman, any other rocker. Like, I want us to be able to be friends, and especially with other women, like, since there's so few of us, like, we should work together too. It's battling is one thing, of course, you're battling, but like sometimes that bleeds over into real life. And so I've always kind of been careful with that too. Maybe that's one of my downsides as a rocker. If it's someone that I really respect, it's hard for me to like go full out on them because I don't want to lose their respect from them in real life. And I know it's a possibility sometimes when you battle if it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Like people take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely an aspect of the rock culture that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's like, can we have the capacity to battle at our most intense and display the intensity and the elements that make rocking such an exciting dance? Mm-hmm. But can we also you know, maintain friendships and if not friendships, just cordialness.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cordialness with each other. Yeah,
And
definitely.
maintaining control in a battle too, because sometimes things, you know, energy gets high and you lose control. My dad's a theater professor. This is inside info. I used to like study theater and things, and he said, you know, there's a difference between acting and really doing that emotion. So when you're acting, you don't want to be like, if you're acting like you're crazy, you don't want to really become crazy because you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a fine line, and I feel like with dancing, like for me, I think that's why I'm able to separate that. In the moment, I'll feel like, yeah, this is aggressive. I'll be a totally different person than, you know, when I'm me, I'm like chill. I'm like, oh, cool, we're cool. They're like, don't touch me.
Let's go to the diner. Let's go to the diner, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is definitely interesting. Like, it could get very hectic. So when did you officially get down with Mastermind Rockers, and like just talk about that journey, and like what did you know about Mastermind Rockers before you got down with them? How did you get down with them, and just talk about your experience as a Mastermind Rocker, because you're in it seemed like you went from being exposed to a dance that you weren't too familiar with to getting a little bit more immersed into the dance, to joining one of, if not the best crews worldwide, and learning from two reputable rockers that revolutionized rocking in terms of adding different elements of the dance. Like, just talk about that, getting down with them and what it's like training under them.
I mean, aside from the dance, it's like family. You know, Ringo and Mike were always like my family since I knew them. And I would be training with Ringo, and then they would invite me to events, and we go to the events together. Then we go to the diner after and chill. Like we would just always be together. So that kind of like started. And since I had been training with Ringo so long, and then I was entering the Mastermind anniversary, and then after Rock Summit, you know, I think that was like my gateway into, okay, now like you're an official rocker, you've been training with us, and then I was officially initiated. I guess you and me at the same time.
At McCarran Park, right? Was that McCarran Park?
No, we were in a studio. I think there was two, but like I think we had a studio. It was like we were having a meeting. And they invited us to the meeting. Then it was a surprise, and we got our colors. And then after that, like I just, you know, stayed with them and helped them build. We had the practices and things like that, and the anniversaries planning and things like that, and traveling together, competing together, going to events together. You know, it's about the dance, but it's also about your community, your family. And
like stylistically, how did they influence you? How did the Mastermind style influence your dancing, your burning, your jerks?
I mean, the burning technique, I mean, now you see more people kind of doing some of the techniques, but before it was different than what anyone else was doing. And, you know, Mike, he's like, come on, let's battle, like when we're training, and then he'll get in front of me and he'll go easy, and then as soon as he starts going hard, he's like, he's so fast and mechanical and has like technical, and he has all these ways that he can sneak in. And then Ringo has that style too, and Ringo also has like the funny burns that he sets up, you know, the storytelling, but you know, also the dance aspect too, the partying and having fun. Like that's something else I really like about the crew, and especially Ringo. Like, doesn't matter what music's playing. If there's no rock music, we're still gonna dance. You know, we're still gonna, because that's what it is. And we'll hustle, we'll freestyle, we'll break, and then we'll rock when the rocking music comes on. So that's influenced my style a lot too, because, you know, when it's rocking music, you got to dance, you know, you're gonna burn and jerk too, but you have to dance. Like, that's an important part of it.
Yeah, it definitely is. What are your top 3 rock records for you? Like, your most enjoyable top 3 records?
Okay. I don't know if I have a specific, I mean, James Brown, anything.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love, I mean, Turn It Loose, Good Foot. Like, I have a top 10 for James Brown.
Okay. So this is going to turn into a strictly James Brown, James Brown list.
Okay, we'll go outside that.
Okay.
I love Shaft in Africa, Expansions. I've started to like Apache a lot. Because at first I was like, oh, it's so repetitive and it's over and over, but now it's kind of like a challenge.
Yeah,
song
Apache is insane because, you know, when I think of Apache, I'll say a song like Apache, and I also include Scorpio.
Yeah.
I think like we've heard those songs so long that it's just like, okay, that's Apache. But when you really listen to it, like, and I think we remove our like b-boy or rocking brain, and you sit down and you say to yourself, this was done with a group of congas. Like, you just listen to the fact, and it's like, do 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 do. That's just a group of dudes with and it's so like, intricate too. Yeah, like all of it, like So when you really think about the song, it is an incredible song. No pun intended. Incredible bongo band. It's incredible. It's a fly song, yo.
Yeah. I know, I love that one.
Nice.
I've gotten more appreciation for it.
Yeah.
I love Jackson 5 too, like Hum Along and Dance, anything MJ. Not all of his songs are good for rocking, but Jackson 5 has some good rockings.
And what are some songs that, like, obviously we know they're in the rocking Rolodex, and we're always gonna hear these songs, but what are some songs like, not the best, not my favorite.
A lot of rockers are gonna send some hater mail right now, but listen to me.
Yeah, listen to me.
I think Ringo made me practice do that so many times. I think I just got so sick of it. But it's a really great song.
Yeah.
And it's a really great battle song too, because it has all the elements. You can freestyle. You have your jerks and time to go hard. And it's a challenging song too because it has different breaks, so you have to like keep your endurance. But I never practice do it anymore. I just, if it comes on in a battle or at a jam, I'm like, okay. But like DJs, there's other rock songs other than Turn It Loose and Listen to Me and just so you know.
There's a lot of songs.
They're really a lot. But sometimes I get like I want to dance to something different. And then when I hear those songs and I'm at a jam, I feel like I'm expected to go rocking. Yeah. And sometimes I don't feel it because I'm like, I've heard this song so many times. Like I don't know, but maybe that's just me. So no, send the hater mail, people. Yeah,
it's true. No, it's true. Besides, obviously, we know that Ringo, Mike influenced you, being a part of Mastermind Rockers. But besides those two, what are like 2 or 3 other OGs that you've seen dance that you really appreciate how they dance?
Well, when I am in a battle and I have to get like really raw and really aggressive, I say like I get the spirit of Little Dave. Oh man. Or Tiny too. Yeah. those are like my inspirations for when I need them. Little Dave, like I've seen him at different parties or events where rockers are together, and I've actually ended up battling him a few times just because I'm in the right place at the wrong time. Like, I'll just be in the cypher, like, doing my thing. And he steps in front of me and throws something in it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm battling Little Dave. Yeah. So I love that. I love to watch when an OG, like, they're not doing it for any kind of fame or something. It's just because he's like, this is my song. And it's so, like, cool to see that. Let's see. I mean, I got to give it up for Breakeasy and King Uprock. They're the guys that I've seen out there for longevity, like always at events, representing always giving to the community. I mean, like I said, Breakeasy is one of the first people that was showing me the foundation for rocking and breaking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Breakeasy is the first b-boy I ever saw with my eyes, like in front of my eyes. Like I went, quick story, I went to like an audition with my friends that I was dancing with at the time. And, you know, we thought we knew some stuff, but we was just whatever. And then here comes Breakeasy stretching and stuff, and he does like a windmill, like literally 5 feet away from me.
Like,
I'm stretching, and he just first b-boy I ever saw in my eyes. Like prior to that, it was on television or commercial, but right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
he's like so clean, and he knows how to break it down and teach it too. That's the other thing. Like some people are really good at the dance, and some people are good at teaching, but maybe they're not good at both. Breakeasy can do both. And speaking how we were speaking of family earlier, Breakeasy, when I first started, I remember I went to his practice and there was an event that night, but we had time to kill in between. He's like, you guys can come over to my house and we'll have rice and beans. And like he invited me to his house. So he would like give me not only dance lessons, but life lessons too. Like he has so much knowledge. DJ, like he knows so much music. Oh, and when I'll add Amigo to the list of rockers too.
Amigo.
And
Goody.
He's another one that inspires me. I love watching him dance. But I just remember being at Breakeasy's house and he's like, yeah, Breakeasy, you know that song is like and then Breakeasy's like, yeah, that's da 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 da, and he pulls the record out like he could translate. Amigos, he was like the Spotify, no, what is it?
Soundhound, yeah.
Whatever.
Shazam and all those things.
So yeah, so Amigo too is inspiring. If you don't know about Amigo, you gotta hang out with Amigo. You gotta hang out with him, and he's got some crazy history.
Forget rocking against him or rocking with him. Just hang out with him for a day.
He's such a dope human being.
Definitely. So you know you've been in the game enough time to see some of the transitions that have taken place. Like even myself and me and you, we both kind of got down with Mastermind at the same time, but I think you started rocking before me, maybe a year or two, just kind of being on the Ringo and stuff like that. So you've been in the game enough time to kind of see the transitions that have occurred, the popularity of the dance kind of skyrocket to a degree, more rockers in different countries. What are some of the things from the new crop of rockers that you're seeing that you like, and what are some things that you feel the new crop or new generation of rockers can work on?
Well, I know it's hard because sometimes people who want to learn rocking don't have access to someone who can teach them. So they will watch videos. And so I know to an extent, like, that's cool. Like, maybe that's the only way you can learn. The thing I like is that people have an interest now and are starting to like really delve into what is rocking and separating it a little bit from b-boy and knowing that it has its own rich culture and music and dance in itself apart. So I like that. The thing I'm not liking is that people are copying the moves. They're mastering them. Like you'll see people doing the moves nicely and they look good, but not really fully understanding rocking. Like they're just copying someone else's moves. Like something I've been seeing frequently is copying moves that were done to one song and then doing it to another song. And I'm like, it doesn't work. It's not appropriate. Like it's like if you're doing, you know, something to the Mexican and then you're doing that to Fire Will Burn You. It's not gonna, it's not
so it's
gonna
like
connect.
A set. It's kind of like a rocking set.
Because they're different feelings, have different lyrics and things like that. So I'm seeing that a lot. And it's about connecting with the music. Any dance is about that. And I think that gets lost across the board. Breaking, house, you know, like whatever. People are focused on the moves and not focused on connecting with the music, which is the important thing. You know, it's cool if you want to dance rock to other songs. Like eventually after you learn the foundation and stuff, you can rock to whatever you want and do rock movements, and that's fun. But like initially you should be practicing with the songs and using the music to bring those foundation moves out of you instead of trying to copy someone else's set and then doing it. Also, it's about being original. Like you shouldn't want to look like someone else. Even if you're copying an OG, you're never gonna master it like the OG, because that OG probably created their style. So you're never, no matter how good you master the move, like I can copy King Up Rock's jerks, but no matter how much I copy it, I'm never gonna look as good as King Up Rock, because that's his style, you know. And the same goes across the board for other people. So it's good, you want to be inspired and learn the foundations and learn the moves, but eventually you have to create your own style too, like expand yourself outside of just sets, because it's a dance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess that's it. And also just posting videos or just talking shit online.
Oh boy.
Like I think it's better, like it's, if you don't have a battle you can go to, that's fine. But I see some of the videos and I'll be like, yeah, but would you look that cool and suave if someone stepped in front of you? Like it's different if you're like dancing in a cypher or looking cool, but like maybe your moves look good, but are you gonna look that good if someone who knows rocking steps in front of you and brings it to you? Like you got to think about these things too, that ciphering and, you know, showcasing is one thing, but it's a battle dance. So you can do your calculated moves and stuff like that, but if someone steps in front of you, you got to react to them too. You can't have everything planned. That's something I love about rocking, is that other battles, one person goes and you have some time to think before you plan around, oh, I'm going to do this. In rocking, you don't have that luxury. Like you have to do it in the moment.
On the moment, yeah.
And I think maybe some people who haven't rocked against a real rocker aren't going to understand that. So I know it's hard because they don't have access to it.
Yeah, it's true. And even too, like if you rock against someone who puts the pressure on you, it's even harder.
Yeah.
When you rock against someone who, you know, who's just gonna maintain your same pace, meet you where you meet them,
it's easy. You're gonna look good,
but if you put someone that puts pressure on you or forces you to have to, like you say, react, that's where you get tested, really tested as a rocker, big time. So I can definitely understand that sentiment of what we're seeing right now.
Because you can showcase all you want and people, oh wow, you look really good. I'm like, let's see you in a battle, son. Let's see you step against a real rocker. And I'm not just saying a battle where someone keeps the same, like I'm talking about someone who's gonna bring it to you. Let's see if you still look so cool. Sorry.
Definitely. No, and then on the subject of like real rocker, like that's something that we have been, you know, people have been talking about using that terminology. Like what for you defines like a real rocker? Like what defines a real rocker for you?
Okay, someone that understands that there are different elements to it. You have your freestyle, musicality, jerks, drops, and burns, and storytelling. It's someone who incorporates all of those. For me, that's gonna be real rocking and having an understanding of that, and that it's a battle dance. And someone who trains themselves or gets trained, if ideally by someone who is an OG or someone who has a good skill set to teach, like someone who can learn from them and then they train on their own, not just someone who like studies a few moves on the internet and then it's like, I'm a rocker now. No, man, like you train it. Grinch, I've battled this guy a few times, but I love him because his whole Instagram is like all rocking all the time. The guy is constantly training. Like this, for me, this is someone who's a real rocker. Like it's like a passion. It's like you gotta do it. And so I see a lot of like half, you know, and I'm not saying that's bad. Like I want to encourage anyone who wants to try it to do it. But like for the people that I want to battle, that I want to like dance against. Like, I want to dance with those people that have that same fire and that same drive. Like, I'm a rocker.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll put you to the test.
Yeah.
Going against those type of individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. What are your future plans for rock? Like what are some things that you feel maybe are missing from the culture that you would like to see? Whether it's 2020, 2021, whatever.
Yeah.
What are some like things that you would like to see in the culture?
I would love to see, maybe I'm naive, but I would love to see more peace in the culture. I see it's good to have that healthy rivalry, but at a certain point there's so many politics and so many people hating and talking shit on the internet, and like for me this is not helpful for the dance at all. Like, and maybe I'm naive and people say, but back in the day that's how it was, but it's 2020.
Yeah.
And if you want, there's a reason why rock didn't get as popular before, and I think it's because of all this anger and like negativity that was involved with it, and we have to like shed that from this dance, or else it's gonna be stagnant, or people that grab onto it that don't understand it and don't really know how to teach it are gonna run with it. Like people who are famous or whatever, they're gonna, well, I know how to rock, and then those people are gonna get the credit for it, and that's what rocking is gonna look like, unless the real rockers like can make peace and come together and say, what can we do, And honestly, in the moment, I've kind of stepped back. I haven't been as active just because of that negativity. I don't want to deal with it. Like, yeah, it's too much. And, I guess that's my main thing. I would love to see it more. Like, I would love for OGs to have the opportunity to like get flown to places. Like the OGs, I want to say from Brooklyn, like I would love for them to have more opportunities to go and teach and really share their knowledge while they're still here.
Yeah, that's the key.
Because there's people that they're doing what they can, they want to learn, but they don't have the tools and the access. So I would love for that to happen, if it's possible. Yeah, I guess those are the main things.
Nice. All right. As we close, Lucy Loose from wherever, from Brooklyn. I'm making up a name.
Lucy
Loose. Wherever. Kimberly, Paul, Peter, Robert. Sees you rocking in the park, and they want to, they seem interested. They want to learn. Like, what would be some advice that you would give to someone? Maybe they have some b-boy, b-girl experience. Mm-hmm. They see you, they see rocking. They want to learn, or they want to get into it. Like, what would be, looking back on your journey and all the twists and turns, what would be your mapped out route for them to get into the culture?
Oh, to get into the culture?
And thrive in the culture the best way they can.
Oh, shoot. That's tough. I mean, the first thing is have like a respect for the dance and its culture. Know that anytime you learn something new, that has its own dance, and there's a lot of people that train and know about that, and don't disrespect it and just be like train for one day and you're like, I'm a rocker, and then go enter a battle. Like, have respect. But I say that across the board for any new dance, new whatever endeavor that you learn. And if you have access to OGs and reach out to them, even if it's on the internet, message them. You might get a lot of mixed signals and people say different things, but that's okay. Like, just talk to as many people as you can so you can build your own information from it. And if you don't have physical access to an OG, if you know another person who's a rocker close to you, like, talk with them, connect with them, and try to build your own community. This is something I do like. I see people building with what little they have, even if they didn't have so many people to teach them or whatever. They're building with what they have, and I think that's the start. Even if there's just two of you, that's all you need. Like, you go to events together, you show rocking so that other people get interested too. And if they don't right away, you keep going, you keep building. We've seen that with the Mastermind chapter. Like, I know Poeto started small. Gumi in Japan is, building the community. Jackie in Taiwan, like, it starts small, but eventually people are gonna catch on and be like, this is really cool. So if you want to rock and you feel alone, it's okay. You just need to find one person that shares your vision.
Yeah.
And if you don't have them yet, that's okay. You go and you showcase rock at the events. Eventually, you're gonna find people. I guess that's my best advice.
Nice.
To get into it.
Nice. Talking rock. This is your one-stop shop for rock. It's been a pleasure sitting down with Goody-Roc. And check out the practices. There's practices on Saturdays with Tiny and Mike. And go on the Rockdance's Here page, and you definitely will get the info to that. And be on the lookout for some practices from the program that we do on Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. All the information should be on the Rockdance's Here page. You can holler at me, Vitamin the Governor, on Instagram. Check out Vitamin Vision TV on YouTube and Facebook for some of the tutorials, basic tutorials. If you want very basic information on rocking. That's it, yo. Peace out.
Peace.